Let's just get this out of the way. There is not one Democrat, not one, who cares how bad this looks for Bill Clinton. We have not made him or any politician our entire personality, and he was president like a quarter century ago. So if he's guilty of something, or whomever is guilty of hurting women and children, they should go to jail. I am curious, though, why Mr. Transparency blacked out so much of the files and why politically exposed people and government officials were redacted along with the victims. Because at this point, the Trump administration is being so transparent, and I don't mean open. I mean, it is so blatantly clear how dishonest they're being. They did not refuse to release these files all year, have hundreds of agents working countless hours to redact these files, and then be forced legally to release them to protect Bill Clinton. But remember, even Trump's chief of staff, Susie Wiles, said that Trump was wrong and pushed false narratives about Clinton visiting Epstein Island.
Man, I'm so sick and tired of these Democrats, dog. Y'all are such hypocrites. Now that the Epstein files came out, we see Bill Clinton in a jacuzzi laid out like this here. And we see him in his little silk shirt standing next to Jeffrey Epstein. Now y'all don't have nothing to say. Now all the Democrats across social media talking about well, I don't care about Bill Clinton. Of course you don't care about Bill Clinton. Your ass was too young to vote for him. But for everybody else who was old enough, they still voted for Bill Clinton. They didn't care that he was an adulterer. He cheated on his wife, getting a little lip service from Monica Lewinsky. Folks thought that shit was so funny. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, y'all are such hypocrites. Y'all didn't have nothing to say when he had those essay allegations on him from those women. Y'all didn't have nothing to say about that. Now all of a sudden, you on a witch hunt after Trump. Oh, well, Trump was at Epstein Island. They deleting information because Trump name on it. What about Bill Clinton? He need to address that. You don't see any photos of Donald Trump in the jacuzzi laid out. You see Bill Clinton over there. So why don't y'all have anything to say? I'm going to continue to say this. Y'all don't care about these kids getting justice. You don't give a damn about them kids. Tell that shit to your mama. At the end of the day, you want to see that paperwork so you can say, aha, Donald Trump's name is on there. 990 boo-boo. Get his ass out of office because he's such a disgusting, vile man. Whole time y'all voted for Bill Clinton. He was there all the time while he was married to Hillary Rodham Clinton. I don't want to hear no more talk from y'all Democrats.
Notice something about the Epstein file, though? Bill Clinton is front and center. There are a dozen of pictures of him in a pool with a woman, on trips with Jeffrey Epstein. They are the pictures that are forward, and a lot of them aren't new. Last night, right-wing websites had these pictures. I wonder how they got them. Can we really trust a Department of Justice that puts President Trump's political enemies first? Do they even care about the survivors? For more of my reporting, you can go to tarapalmary.com and sign up for the red letter.
Again, the release of the Epstein files has sparked a heated debate between Republicans and Democrats, with the Democrats accusing Donald Trump administration of trying to hide information, particularly about Trump's connection to Jeffrey Epstein, while Republicans argue that the release is an attempt to shift focus away from the Bill Clinton's ties to Epstein. So the Republicans are pointing fingers at the Democrats because most of the photos released surrounded around Bill Clinton, while Trump's releases, or rather the photos that exposed the current photos Donald Trump, have been removed from the original file. So Democrats claim that Trump administration has violated the Transparency Act that was enacted and signed by the president. So Trump's involvement point out that his name is barely mentioned in the release files, while the Democrats highlight that photos of Bill Clinton were put there just to shift focus away from the truth or the Transparency Act that was signed. So let us see the reactions of Americans, and in particular those who say that Bill Clinton's name was there with a purpose. Let's watch and react in the end.
Everyone talks about the Trump and Epstein relationship, but I want to talk about the Clinton and Clinton Foundation and Epstein relationship for a bit. I spent my career at the CIA and NSA. I also advised other intelligence agencies. I now have my own corporate intelligence firm. All these opinions are my own. This assessment is my own for entertainment purposes only. Let's go. I started looking into it a little bit deeper because nobody else was talking about it. And when no one else is talking about it and they're all like, look over here at Trump, and the media is obsessed with Trump, yet Clinton is just as prominent in the files, why? In addition, I found out that Ghislaine, when she was, deposed, when she was on trial, she protected Clinton. Epstein also did the same. In the emails that I was reading from one of the first releases, he was like, I can prove Clinton was never on the island. Clinton was never on the island. And he really defended him. He did not do that with anyone else. He did not act like that with anyone else. 3 witnesses testified that they saw Clinton on Epstein Island. Virginia Giuffre, a pilot, and one of the property managers. And yet Epstein is saying, no, he was never there. No, in my opinion, homeboy was there. Why is Ghislaine protecting him so much? And why is Epstein protecting him so much? Let's find out. Ghislaine comes to New York City in 1991, meets Epstein. Fast forward, Clinton is elected in 92, takes office January 20th, 93. And in the next month, February 93, Epstein starts visiting the White House to see Clinton. Over 17 times between that date in 93 and 95, Epstein and at times Ghislaine were in the White House visiting a sitting president. Some of these are on the books, some of these were left off. Either way, that is a lot of times. In addition, in 94, Clinton had the North Korea nuclear deal, and in the emails that were just released, some of the ones I was reading from the Blue and White Countries EB, I don't say his name because he scares the shit out of me. He used to be head of Mossad, prime minister, anyway, very connected to Epstein. He wrote an email on April 23rd, 2015 to Epstein. Bill Clinton, 1994, food for thought. 1994 was the North Korean nuclear deal, and he's referencing a time when Epstein was in the White House. Okay, so Clinton stopped being president, and from the time that he stopped being president for 2 years, I think it was like 2001, 2002, 2003, he flew on Epstein's private jet, the Lolita, 4 international trips, at least 26 legs of it went to Asia, Africa, Europe, and Ghislaine was on every single one of those flights. If you see my other videos, I think she's the mastermind and connector behind it all, which is why she's sitting in a cush prison and probably going to get out. In 2007, during Jeffrey Epstein's trial, his lawyer wrote a letter to the prosecutors, and he was like, hey, Epstein was one of the original people of the Clinton Foundation, basically. This, in my opinion, helped him get such a light sentence, nothing. He got nothing. He got the sweetheart plea deal, never told the victims, etc. I think that it was the Clinton Foundation link and the fact that his lawyer knew that, and they probably had proof. He wouldn't have just said it. Charitable organizations and foundations are the easiest way to funnel money, get access to people you wouldn't have access to, go places where no one questions you. Like, they're either true charity or border corruption, in my opinion, from what I've seen and analyzed. Last piece that I'll talk about today is Maria Farmer. She is one of the artists who was in Epstein's New York townhouse and was raped. And it was one of the first counts. She reported it. She not only reported it to New York State Police, she reported it to the FBI. Her report was in these last files. Here it is. I'll let you guys look at it. She reported this to the FBI. This was during the Clinton administration. This was when Clinton was president. Okay? She was ignored. It's in the documentary. She was ignored. And now it makes sense. I hadn't put 2 and 2 together when I was watching it originally, but yeah, this is just so dark and so deep. And the fact that even his lawyer is like, hey, he was part of the original. Of course, people are going to deny it, but that just makes me go look at it even more, because you aren't going to make a claim like that unless you have proof. And then he gets the sweetheart deal. There is so much more to come. We are going through these redacted files. I know there's a lot of redactions, but it does tell a story, and we're not stopping. So stay tuned.
Can someone wake me up when the Democrats admit that Trump was never in the Epstein files? Oh, I'm sorry. Was that too evil of a laugh for everybody? I got reamed out for that yesterday. But, Trump, Bill Clinton, the name we've been shouting for years. How long do you think it'll take the news outlets to actually report on this? Never. And the craziest part is a lot of this was when Bill Clinton was president. I don't know about y'all, but I don't see any pictures of Trump in a pool with another woman or in a blue dress. And to the conservatives who are like, this isn't news, we already knew this. Yeah, we did, but they wouldn't listen. So it has to be thrown in their faces for them to actually listen. So while it's not new news to us, it needs to surface widely right now so that everybody shuts the fuck up about Trump being in the Epstein files. But you're right, this is only the beginning, because wait until you hear.
So these are the points of contentions in the released Epstein files. Democrats claim that Trump administration is violating the Epstein File Transparency Act by releasing heavily redacted documents and missing the deadline. The document has several pages of blank document or photos. What really were in these blank pages? That is the biggest question that everyone wants to know, and the Democrats are saying that this is where the administration is trying to hide something. It seems that this was a hit on the face of Trump. Republicans, on the other end, point that Trump's name is barely mentioned in the released files, and their main argument is that these files were centered around the administration of Bill Clinton. That was in the 90s, 92, 93, when Bill Clinton was the president of the United States. So the transparency of the released Epstein files are in question, with the victims still crying foul to receive justice. Will they know, or will the Americans know the truth of the files that Epstein promised to release? Epstein was a sexual offender who had a private island in America, and this is where a lot of crime against humanity were done by people who are prominent in America. So let us see what you have to say in this. Are you for the Democrats' argument, or are you supporting what the Republicans are saying? Also, do not forget to like and share. Thank you, and may God bless you.